Hello there, beautiful, gorgeous, positive, spectacular, amazing, brilliant, outgoing people. How are you guys doing this week? Welcome to the LP Variety Hour, number 8. And if this is your first time listening to an LP Variety Hour, I apologize if you're taken a bit off guard. There is no video here. You are just going to be listening to me talking. And all this show or this YouTube podcast, I don't know what you want to call it, what this is for is it's to help you get through doing something terrible in your day. And also, guys, please, I want you guys to comment. If you guys are doing something really lame while you're doing this, I like to re-mention the next week who was doing the lamest thing the week before. And right now I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and definitely mispronounce someone's name right now. And I feel terrible for it because I think this is some kind of Hawaiian name. And it's probably beautiful. Her name is probably gorgeous. But I'm about to just ruin her name probably. And I apologize ahead of time. It's Otto. Oto Kallio Makai. Otto Kallio Makai? Oh man, I know that there's probably some other way. Kallio Makai. Otto Kallio Makai. Anyhow, what she was doing was Active Directory Group Policy Configurations. What that is, I have absolutely no clue, but it sounds incredibly boring, and it sounds like you're at a computer, and you're probably staring at some kind of graph or some kind of chart for a long, long time and probably rearranging numbers or something. I don't know, but it sounds very boring to me. Now, the next person is GSAV94, Fighting Off a Fever. That sounds horrible. Now, I mean, having something to listen to while you fight off a fever that's a little bit funny or interesting to listen to, that would make it go by a little quicker. I think he said it made him feel a lot better because it made him forget about his fever. But, man, if I've got a fever, I'm just like, I hate my life. I'm that guy that likes to help everybody, and I'm always, like, active and doing things. When I get sick, man, I'm just like this useless person, and I hate it. You just can't do anything, man. It's like a like a ball and chain. You're just stuck there. Like me, I'll just sit and watch TV. It's like one of the only times that I really sit and stew and watch TV for like a good 8 hours. Just sit there. Sleep, watch TV, drink a ton of water. That's really all I do when I get sick. All right. Now, another thing I want you guys to do is always leave comments on subjects that you guys want me to talk about, because I love when someone generates a subject and then I get to talk about it instead of me coming up with the subject matter, because it's fun to just riff off people, and it's kind of fun to ad-lib. I enjoy that. It's really cool, and also I know that I'm talking about something that someone wants to hear. So this week, the first person, oh man, this is going to be another one where I completely mispronounced their name. Julius or Guilhas. Guilas 98FCP. So I believe it's Guilas 98FCP. He wants me to talk about high school and LP in high school. What was going on with LP in high school? I've got a couple things written down here. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is high school today is probably a lot different than LP's high school days, because we didn't even have, like, if you showed me a smartphone when I was in high school, if you showed my friends a smartphone, they would probably think you were a wizard. And they would probably be like, oh my gosh, that is the most, are you from the future? Like, this is amazing right now. Like, you can just pull up Google stuff right there in your palm. Or you can watch YouTube videos. Wait, what's YouTube? Because YouTube, like, barely existed when I was in high school. Anyhow, what I wanted to say was that it must be crazy now. Like, picture being a teacher, okay, guys? Like, I don't think I've noticed people are always like, oh, teachers get paid so much money. Well, like, I don't know, dealing with just maybe a couple high school kids and entertaining them and trying to teach them something has got to be very intense nowadays. Television has put some very high standards on people's attention spans, and so it's very hard to captivate children now, I bet. Picture 30 of them in a room, man, and you're trying to teach them like I don't know, you're trying to teach them whatever. You're trying to get them to read Moby Dick, and you're trying to like make that interesting to them. Kids that have cell phones in their hands, they can look up anything. They can hit that little Google Chrome button, boop, and they can just talk. They can look up anything they want to. They can just Google it, no problem. I'm so jealous of children nowadays. Like they can make a YouTube channel off a smartphone. They can just do that if they wanted to. Back in my days, man, oh my gosh. I remember I remember one of the skateboard videos that I made back in the day. This is something you guys will probably never see because all the tapes are completely lost. To edit a video, you had to go from VHS tape to VHS tape. So you had to hit stop on one and then hit record on it and then hit play on the other one. And if you didn't hit play quick enough on the other one, it would look all weird because it was like a still. The other one wouldn't record it right. LP made an entire skateboard video recording VHS to VHS. Excuse me, actually, it was high 8 to VHS, then from that VHS to another VHS. Yeah, what do you think about that? All these kids dragging and dropping videos now on the computers and stuff, and it's like, man, you ain't never seen like a tape or anything. Like it's so easy nowadays. It's really insane, man. Like these smartphones have just, you can just do anything on them. Anything you need to do. It's crazy. All right, so I went to a place called Rosemont High School, and it was like nowadays I've heard that it's gotten a little bit kind of more how do I say this politely and not be politically incorrect? Kind of more urban, if you will, a little bit more kind of rough and tumble, gangster. You might want to say that, something like that. When I was going there, they called it Sochmont, and it was literally like a social school, and everybody was always talking all the time. There's like lots of drama, blah 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 blah. Well, LP was, I was kind of that kid that skateboarding was like the cool thing when I was in high school, and so I could kind of hang out with anybody I wanted to because I was pretty good at skateboarding. I'm not trying to brag. It's just an observation, and like in the rankings at my school, like one time I remember, you know those picnic benches that you just sit at in high school, in middle school. One of those was, I could ollie one of those. I could jump over one of those from flat ground to flat ground, just ollie over one of those completely. Like a full picnic bench, man. I used to have some hops. I wish I had video of this stuff. Anyhow, I was good at skating. So, I don't know, it was weird. Like back then, like if you were good at skateboarding, it just kind of like earns you this pass into any social group. Like, you know, the gangster dudes, like, you know, wearing the cool Air Jordans and stuff. Those dudes, you know, drug dealers or whatever, they'd see you skateboard and they'd be like, oh my God, dude, you're so good at skateboard, man. Do this and do this. Try that off that over there. And then you do it and they'd be like, oh, hell yeah, man, that's really cool. And then they just leave you alone. Now, mind you, like, they'd go pick on some other kid, but, like, for some reason, just because I was good at skateboarding, it was just this, like, total free pass for, like, a lot of people. It was really weird, man. Like, somebody would see me skateboard, and then all of a sudden I'm just, like, instantaneously cool to them, and, like, I can just hang out with them. It was very weird to me sometimes. I don't know. It's very straight, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to have, like, a medium that everybody relates to and they really like. That's cool. That's really good. But then at the same time, it's kind of like how some really really you know, really cute girls might feel sometimes. They're like, why am I even in this situation? Like, you just doing this because I'm cute? Like I remember I'd just be like, why would these people want to? This is so weird to me that just because I'm good at skateboarding, they like think I'm cool or something. I don't know. It was very weird to me, and I used to kind of I used to veer away from the popular people and really kind of do my own thing and have my own little tiny crowd that I hung out with. I remember, here's some high school immaturity. There was a concrete G in the middle of the school, and all the cool kids would go hang out like in the main quad. There was like a lower quad, and there was this concrete, it was the letter G, and it was bright yellow. And so me and my friends would always hang out there. And eventually it gained a nickname. I'm going to let you take a couple seconds to guess what we called that spot. There's a big G, and it was a spot that we used to hang out at. We used to call it the G spot, man. Talk about high school humor, man. It was pretty good. So we used to hang out down there, and we were like the popular kids, but like, you know, we could go to a popular kid party if we wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it was very strange. And I don't talk about this very often, but I remember at one point in high school, I got like really negative. I mean, I turned into a very negative person. Very, very negative. I was always angry about something, always pissed off, always found some reason to be just poopy, in a poopy mood. And basically all my friends ditched me. I mean, there were pagers back then. I would page my friends or call their house or whatever from my house phone. Yes, there was no cell phones yet, guys. I know that's insane for you. You couldn't like get a hold of your friend immediately. Like if they didn't text you back in 25 seconds, you get concerned nowadays. Back then, you'd have to call their house and like sometimes as a kid leave a message on the message machine. Their parents could hear that. You know how embarrassing that is, man. Whew. Having to talk to somebody's parents every time you want to call their house. Oh, is so-and-so there? Is da-da-da there? Anyhow, I'd call my friends' houses. I'd page them, everything, and it was a long time, man. They just decided, nope, not gonna hang out with that kid anymore. He's too negative. And so my friends ditched me for a while, and that sucked. Eventually, they came back to me. Eventually, I kind of changed my ways a little bit. I don't know. Still to this day, I don't quite know what was bugging me so much. Why I was such a negative, terrible person for this period of time. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's weird. Like, I don't know. I think maybe I had a girlfriend. Dump me or something like that. I don't really remember when I went so just caca and poopy negative. It was really terrible. Let's see. This is something that I've never talked about here on my personal YouTube channel. I did talk about this on my brother's channel, and I'm only talking about this because I want you to look at me. A lot of people think that I'm a positive person. A lot of people look to me for motivation. I want you to hear something negative that's happened in my past so that way you go, oh, you know what? If he can get through that, then I can get through this, no problem. That's the only reason I talk about bad stuff from my past, guys. I just want to help you with my past. I feel like what a better thing to do with something terrible than help other people. I feel like that's a great thing. And I don't talk about this stuff to talk negatively about anyone. It's nothing like that at all. It's to help other people to hear my full story. So one day when I was in high school, I ended up staying with my aunt every once in a while because she would help me with homework. I mean, like a lot. Like, she's very scholarly. She has like PhDs. She now is a college teacher. She teaches Japanese studies, and she's amazing. She's a very smart person. So she'd help me with my high school work, my homework and stuff, because I was very bad at paying attention in high school for some reason. I just really cared about skateboarding and skateboarding. That's about it, really. And so one day I came home to my aunt's house, and I think my dad was there, or I don't remember the whole scenario. I just remember sitting at my aunt's house. It was somewhere in like the middle of high school, sophomore or junior year, and he sits me down. My dad's like, I have some bad news about your mom, and I'm like, oh God, what in the world could have happened? Like, what's he about to tell me? So what he ended up telling me was that my mom went to going to prison for dealing drugs for a little while, like maybe a couple years or something like that. I don't remember the amount of time that she was gone, but I remember that at first it really affected me. I was very pissed off about this whole thing, like really, really angry. And I remember hearing the news. I remember hearing it come from my dad's mouth, and instantaneously, you know how you can hear something you hear news or you hear a fact, and then like puzzle pieces in your brain, there's like a zipper that just kind of goes and it zips up and everything aligns. All of a sudden you go, oh, that's why this and 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 that and this and this and that thing that I noticed, and then they said that, and like the stars align for you. Like you hear something and you're like, oh, that's why this was going on, and that's why I felt this, and things just start making sense when you hear something sometimes. And that's kind of what happened to me in the weeks after hearing that news. And I encourage people, whenever you have something like that said to you, or let's say that, like, you know, your girlfriend cheated on you and you hear about that, or if you're losing your job, or just anything terrible, I want you to really sit there and don't react. Try your best not to react to things. Always try and think about things. Always try and take the path of thinking and meditation, and like really sitting there and looking at the pathways that you took, looking where you ended up, looking at everything. And your opinions on everything change. It all becomes, all the stars align differently. You start realizing that I'm not saying that like this situation in particular was my fault at all, like my mom going away and all that stuff, but sometimes you'll realize that things are your own fault, or you did something to encourage someone to do something, or whatever it is. I just encourage you to sit there and think about things instead of reacting. Being just a person that reacts like a molecule in the universe that just reacts to things all the time. You spend too much energy on everybody else and not yourself. So you got to just sit there and think about yourself sometimes. You got to think maybe for a day or two. Maybe you know, don't go out with your friends. Don't go don't go do stuff. Go sit there and marinate on stuff for a little while. Write it down on a piece of paper if you have to. Pros and cons of what just happened. Maybe there's like a million pros. But don't just react immediately. Don't, like, I see people reacting all the time. Just all the time. They're always reacting. All right, so I was talking about high school, and I completely got off track there. Now, another thing that was going on in my high school, I attended this quite a few times. If you were late to class, you would get sent to this thing called lockout. Now, what lockout was, maybe you guys had this in your high school too, or maybe you're a high school student now and you have this in your high school now. Not really sure. But you had to sit in essentially like kind of the cafeteria, and it was completely silent. And all you had was the rule book of the school, and you had to rewrite the rule book on pieces of paper that they gave you. So you literally just rewrote the rules of the school onto a piece of paper. Now, I don't know, me personally, I feel like if a student's late to class, making it so that they just don't go to the class completely is like the dumbest punishment ever. Okay, so if I ever wanted to get out of anything in any class, I could just go to, oh, oops, I'm late. Oh, jeez. Man, looks like I'm going to have to miss that stupid movie that I didn't want to watch. And then, you know, it's high school, so, you know, maybe you're old enough to drive, and maybe you go to the Mexican food place down the street sometimes during school hours, and maybe you happen to bring back one of the security guards that runs the lockout thing, Mexican burritos, breakfast burritos sometimes. So maybe he doesn't care if you write anything when you're in your lockout. So lockout is just kind of like chilling, drawn on a piece of paper, or thinking about skateboard tricks that you want to do. Maybe that's what lockout is for you. That's what I turned it into, because I had a car that I could drive, and I would go get Mexican food, sombreros right down the road, and I would bring it back and give it to we called them narcs. I don't know what you guys call them in high school now, but the security guards that kind of like run things, like they make sure you got a hall pass, or, you know, at my school they're running lockout, making sure kids were writing the rules. I can't believe they had a thing called lockout where all you did was just write rules from the rule book onto a blank piece of paper. Like you could like, A kid that doesn't show up to on time to class obviously is like disorganized. So you could have a a I guarantee you there's some person out there that would volunteer for this job to like help kids be more organized. And essentially you could just I don't know, you could start an art program where kids draw instead, or like make them read anything, but just rewriting rules into I remember I used to see it, and I used to walk by the room full of the kids just rewriting rules. I'm like, what a waste of time. Like, they could be doing something that, like, I don't know, there's something like in prison they print license plates, right? Isn't there others? Comment what they do in prison. I think they make license plates. There's other stuff they do in prisons. There could be something that they're doing in lockout that makes them money. So I have no clue, but not just sitting there rewriting. I remember it used to frustrate me so much. It used to get me so angry when I'd see these kids just sitting there withering away, wasting their time completely, just rewriting the school rules. That's all they're doing. Like I couldn't believe it. Anyhow, on to another fun story. I remember one time, oh, yeah. So one of the vice principals caught wind that LP was going off campus in his car. 1988 Celica, by the way. Sweet ride. Look it up. And I was going to get breakfast burritos. So one day I came back to the school, and the vice principal was waiting at the gate that I pulled up to in my car into the parking lot. And I was like, damn it. So I remember he like, I don't remember how all this went down. I remember in the moment he was like, okay, park your car, I get to search your car. And I remember I was like, so wait a second. You're telling me that I just like waived one of my my rights as an American by going to get Mexican? Like, yeah, I did break your rules. I think you can give me a referral, maybe give me some detention, or make me go to lockout, or do whatever you want to do. I remember telling him, I was like, I don't think you get to search my car. I want to say that that's completely not legal. That is not a legal thing. I'm a driver now, and this is my car, and this is my thing. It doesn't belong to you. It's on your property, I understand that, but it's my car, and you're not the police. So I don't really understand how you get to search my car right now. And I remember he kind of like stepped back for a second, and he was like, well, here's the thing. I had nothing in my car that I was afraid of this guy finding anyhow. And so I was just really giving him a hard time, because that's the kind of kid I was at the moment. And I remember this guy, he went through my car. And I remember him, what did he find? My friend smoked cigarettes, and he found a lighter in the back of my car. And I remember he's like, oh, this is it. And I look, and he's holding a lighter in front of my face, and I'm like, my friend smokes cigarettes in the back of my car. And he's like, well, that's not. And I said, what is that not what? So I'm not allowed to have an incendiary device in my car that lets off flame. I can't have any object in my car that lets off a flame. Okay, well, it wasn't brought on campus, so I really don't see how it's a problem. And I remember he brought the lighter into his office, and I remember as we walked onto the steps towards his office, I remember going, hey, you just stepped on campus with an incendiary device that puts off a flame. That's illegal. You're not supposed to have that on campus. I hope you know that. You just brought a lighter on campus. That's for smoking stuff. That's bad. And I remember how angry this guy got. It was pretty good. And I remember I don't think anything even happened in the end. I think he tried giving me a detention or something, or I don't remember. And I think I don't even remember what happened about this whole situation. But I just remember thinking, like, man, it really matters that I was off having fun. That's what mattered, you know? And I couldn't help but think that if I was like a quarterback on the football team, or, you know, some pretty girl involved in PTA or whatever, he would have just been like, "Oh, whoops," and I don't know, it just used to bug me, and that was like the beginning of LP's like real big problem with authority. But as I get older, authority becomes easier and easier to deal with. I definitely don't have a problem with authority anymore. It's definitely something I've worked on for sure. I used to be very rebellious. I even nowadays I'll be like filming in a grocery store or something during a vlog, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, it's such a big deal. My dad commonly reminds me when I get like I'll talk about when we're working on cars or something. I'll talk about like filming something somewhere or taking a picture somewhere that I was kind of nervous to do, and he's like, you do realize that you used to like skateboard completely illegally, like all the time. I used to legit hop fences to go into schools, to skateboard in high schools or skateboard in middle schools or whatever. I didn't care. Like, I just hopped the fence, whatever, no big deal. That's completely legal. That's trespassing. I used to do that on a daily basis all the time, like it was nothing. And now in my older age, I'm afraid of someone telling me I can't take pictures somewhere. I'm like definitely afraid of that. Like, it's so stupid. Like, and I look back on, okay, here's a good story. This is, I don't think this was high school. This was, I think, middle school. I'm not sure. What was his name? Mr. Aceves. I think it was. Mr. Estevez? Mr. Estep. I don't remember what it was. But he had the duty, I guess, sometimes on weekends of patrolling the middle school that we went to. And this was when I was a rollerblader, doing like, guys, I used to have mad rollerblading skills. I could do Unity grinds, the Royale grinds. If you guys know what that is, you're a freaking awesome person. If you know what K2 fatties are or rollerblade TRSs, you just like moved up so many levels and you just gained like 60 XP points if you know what K2 fatties are and what a Unity grind is. Like that, you're an amazing person. How about Jinko pants? Does anybody remember what Jinko pants? The pants that went like over your rollerblades. They were so big. They were just so big and baggy. You had to cut them because they were so long so that they wouldn't like go under your wheels and stuff. Jinkos. Look that up, guys. Anyhow, we were rollerblading at the middle school one time. And all of a sudden, I see Mr. Aceves come around the corner with this smile on his face, and then I looked down because he looked down. He had 2 German Shepherds with him. He looked at me, he smiled, he stopped walking, and he just let the dogs go. And me and my friend had, excuse my language, we had a shit fit. We were so scared. Oh my God, we were so scared. I have never, ever hopped a chain link fence so fast in my life. I mean, legit, guys. I was in rollerblades. I did one toe halfway up that fence, and I leaped over that fence in one bound because I knew there was 2 German Shepherds coming for me, and they looked gangster too. They weren't like the, you know how there's German Shepherds, like people are like, oh, I have a German Shepherd, and it's like, it's kind of big and it's kind of cute and fluffy, and it kind of has like cute eyes and like a cute like round big nose, and it's like a bigger dog. I feel like those are the cute cuddly ones. The ones that are like the OG gangster German crazy ones, they always kind of have like a more of a scrunched up look. They're kind of skinny and they're really fast, and they kind of have like a timidness to them. They're very timid, and they're like really aware of their surroundings. Whenever I see those big fluffy German Shepherds, they're kind of like running around. They kind of look like a Labrador. I'm kind of like, bro, that's not like, yeah, you have a big dog, but its mentality isn't like it's not a purebred angry little dog, and that's what these were. And oh my God, I was so scared. And I remember the next Monday at school, because we went to the school that we were rollerblading at. I know that's stupid. I remember seeing Mr. Aceves, and I was with my same friend that was with me when the dogs were chasing us. And I remember we both made eye contact with him. And he looked at us, and he was like, oh, did you guys have a fun weekend? And I was just like, oh, God, he knows. Oh, no. And in the long run, like, I mean, I remember, okay, here's the damage that we would do with our rollerblades would be you would grind on ledges. So basically, you would leave a black residue on planters and stuff in like residential places, commercial places. I mean, if you consider that like kids are just marking up curbs with black wax and they just slide on the curbs, and yeah, sometimes they break their arms and stuff, guys. Big whoop de doo. At least it's not like, at least they're not like this. Kids nowadays are so sexually driven, and so much of their time, like the younger generation too, is spent on like sexual efforts and like just caring about sexuality and caring about what they look like. It's so concerning to me. If I wish like weightlifting sometimes isn't the best for everybody, but I wish that there was some way to like put weightlifting as like a it's like if it's like learning when you're in school, it's like learning going to English class or going to science. I feel like learning about the human body and the physical workings of it and learning how to operate your body inside your body, like picture you're in a video game and you're operating one of those giant mech suits, a giant mech suit, like one of those giant soldier dudes, and he's like 30 feet tall, and you sit in the head and you have to operate him, right? Well, why not look at your body the same way? Like I feel like people are riding around in this machine, and they're in the cockpit of the machine, and they have zero clue. They have no clue as to how this machine operates, how it reacts to things. I feel like they need to teach that in schools. I don't see how it's not like one of the first things that you learn as like a kid. You should learn like the physicalities of the body. Man, I mean, picture how far we would be, like genetically and as human beings, if we learned about the human body. I mean, of course you need to learn language and math and all that stuff, but I'm just saying like another required thing in there should be that. And I feel like another thing that's lacking in schools, it concerns me so much that there's no, it's weird to me that everybody does taxes, right? Everybody has to do taxes, but nowhere in school is there a required learning of how to do taxes. It's very strange to me. It's strange to me that the same government that makes you do taxes doesn't provide free education on how to do taxes. It's just weird to me sometimes the things that are selected in school to teach and not to teach. Like, I don't know, it gets me sometimes. It really, really bugs me sometimes. Another thing that I think that should be taught is I feel like this is tried through, people try and teach all these things through religion, but quite often people end up concentrating on the wrong thing, and they end up not, I don't think this is saying anything bad, but I think people take religion the wrong way sometimes. They memorize the facts too much, and they don't look at the stories and the psychological things and the karmatic things, that the compassion that they're supposed to learn from these stories. They memorize facts, and people need to learn compassion. And I feel like religion isn't necessarily the best way sometimes. Some people just need to hear things put in a proper way so that they can understand. This is why I enjoy listening to like Asian religion so much. Asian religion, like religious stories and stuff like that. They're not put there as like fact. They're more put there to make your gears turn in your head. And I really enjoy reading like Hindu stories, Buddhist stories, all those ones. They're all really awesome. And I feel like sometimes more in like American like Catholicism, Christianity a little bit, sometimes people drift a little bit more towards those facts and learning the facts and learning the the memorization of verses and stuff like that, instead of the compassion that you're supposed to learn, and the I think you guys get what I'm trying to say here. I feel like it's not taught right sometimes, and sometimes people don't understand what someone's trying to teach them, so they just memorize it instead. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's not what religion is for. Religion is to help you be a better person, a positive person, a more calm, collected person. That's what it's for, and that's what you should use it for. And people use it for like to shun people and to tell people like I don't like when people tell other people that they're like going to hell and stuff like that. Instead, if you were just a person, if you just exude positivity and you're compassionate to people and you're nice to people, people will see that, and you can lead by example, and people will follow that. And that's what I like to do. And that's why I talk about this stuff. And that's why I love doing these LP Variety Hours so much, guys. Is that I feel like me talking to you guys about stuff, it helps you with the foundation of your house. Instead of, I mean, anybody can show you how to put a cool chandelier in your house, and you can always buy a cool chandelier. You can always buy, really really cool, sofas and neat dining room table or whatever you want. But a lot of people don't know how to fix the foundation of their house, and that's what LP is here for. And that's like my mission statement in the fitness YouTube industry and all this. It's like my purpose in having a YouTube channel. It's to help you work on all that psychological stuff, that being a more compassionate person, all that stuff. And that's why I like to, I'm silly in my vlogs, and I do funny stuff, because I want you to see the humor in real life. Now, this is going to be a long one. We're going on 37 minutes right now. I think this might end up being an hour. I'm not really sure. We're going to see. Excuse me for a second. Okay. Now, our next request is from Fitness Gains. This guy goes way back. I actually saw him at the CT Fletcher Iron Addicts gym opening. This was a while ago, man. I remember me and Brian were covering this for CT, or I think it was for Isotory, and he was there. And I remember I've seen him there. I don't remember. I saw him at the other Isotory event at Metroflex Gym. I'm trying to think. He's always there with his girlfriend, and they're always so happy and positive. And I just love seeing people like that with a smile on their face. What does he want me to talk about? He wants me to talk about how to get rid of negative people in your life. Now, one thing, it's okay. One thing I'm going to say, I talked about this, I think, last week. Sometimes you've just got to tune them out. Sometimes some people can't be helped, and there's just no choice for you. You've just got to block them. You just got to get them out. You just can't pay attention anymore. You got to unfriend them, get them off Instagram. At first, it's very hard because you know that they're going to say something negative about you to all their friends. But you got to understand that sometimes friends aren't actually your friends. Sometimes you're just another beacon to express negative energy on. And sometimes the person can't be helped. And you just got to realize that. One thing I encourage people to do is try and do things with people. Try and have there be something productive that comes out of you hanging out with someone. And try and set that as don't make it like a standard, like you always, it's like always business when you're hanging out with your friends, but always try and have something, a positive product come from you hanging out with someone. And as soon as you start doing that, you kind of start realizing that quite often, I realized a long time ago that I was just kind of hanging out with people to hang out. And it's kind of like a it's like a comforting like blanket when you're a kid, and you just kind of have these things that you call friends there. They're really just kind of there for no reason. And in today's world of like social media and all that, it's really easy to stay in contact with someone. You don't necessarily need to be at their house all the time, or be hanging out with them all the time, or be in the same geographical location as them all the time. And I feel like a lot of people get caught up in that geographical location nowadays. It's going out and all that stuff. People always want to go somewhere and meet up, and it's not. You're gonna be disappointed when LP's a pretty boring guy. LP does not like to go out and do things. Like if you tell LP like, "Hey, we're going bowling," I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, all right, I'll go. I'm in. Sometimes I'm just like I'm just kind of no, I'm out. I got something else better I can do, or I could be eating food, making gains. That was my main concern when I was bulking. Is basically eating food all the time. It's just consumes your life. Now, let me move on to some different points here. As I was saying, don't don't make your don't have people around as like a comfort thing. Like realize when you're wasting time, when you could be doing something else instead of just hanging out. Like a lot of people just hang out. And what I encourage people to do is instead of trying to find comfort in other people and like, you know, ba- let them bounce their negativity off you, or some people have their friends around because they're like lesser than them, and having that friend makes them feel better about themselves. If you're doing that, you got to stop that, you know? I mean, that's terrible, and that's a big waste of time when you could be doing something completely different. Like a lot of people tell me that, like, oh, you're people say that people that have YouTube channels are lucky or whatever. They say that my brother's lucky to have 100,000 subscribers almost now, 90 something thousand subscribers, or whatever it is, whatever the person is that they're quote unquote lucky. Well, if you just take a look at that person's standard on like who they hang out with and what they do with people, usually the frequency is pretty low. Like if you watch my brother, he doesn't really hang out with people. Like it's hard for me to get him to come out and like, you know, go do whatever, go to fuck or whatever it is. He's always got something he's doing, and I encourage people, get busy, do stuff that has a positive outcome, and make yourself busy, and you just won't care. You won't really have the need to. You won't be looking for this comfort of surrounding yourself with people. You're gonna comfort yourself with the things that you do, and you're gonna accomplish things, and you go, oh wow, that made me feel really good about myself. Oh my gosh. And then you're going to continue on doing things. That's like my best advice on how to get, because if you just concentrate on doing your thing and making sure that you're always progressing, you're going to kind of just get too busy, and you're going to kind of forget about negative people, and they're just going to kind of disappear. And yeah, guess what, man? They're always going to be saying negative things. They're probably saying negative things about you right now. Like let's say you quit hanging out with all your friends and you kick ass now and you have a YouTube fitness channel. They're probably, oh, he's stupid workout guy. Huh, too bad he never gets any girls, or whatever. I never see him at the bar, but whatever. Like, people are always gonna talk. They're always gonna be talking about you all the time. Like all the time, they're always gonna be talking. Speaking of that, I'm going completely off topic right now. That's what the LP Variety Hour is. I get to talk about whatever I want. There's a guy that goes to the old gym that I used to go to, where me and Brian used to go. And now I was at a new gym about 2 or 3 nights ago, and I saw this guy. I call this guy the Viking. You know how there's that show called the Vikings or whatever? I think it's on like FX or something like that. none of those guys, like, I don't feel like any of those guys are really like that tall or like that big. This guy, when you see him in real life, he has long, like really long hair you can put up in a bun or whatever. This fool looks like a Viking. Like you could put the horned hat on him and hand him a shield and a sword, and you would legit be very, very afraid of this man. Like giant guy, like huge. I think he's got to be in like the 320 range, and he towers over me. Like everybody thinks LP's tall. No, this guy is way up there. Anyhow, I saw him the other night, and I was what was I doing? I was doing bicep curls or something, and I remember he was dumbbell pressing with his friend, like 120 dumbbells on an incline, like just nothing. And I'm like, oh my god. So he throws down his dumbbells, and then he like walks over to my area, and then he like stands in front of me and like looks all scary, and I'm like, I look up and I'm like, oh my god. And so I take out my headphones, and he's like, what's up, homie? I haven't seen you in blah 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 for a long time. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're cool. All right, good. I'm like, you know, I was like, I just don't feel like being down there, man. A lot of people talk about other people, and there's always pointing and talking, and you know, if you start succeeding, people always talking all the time. It's very social. I don't really like it. This is a dude that came from, like, I can tell he came from the pen. Like, you know, he's been in prison. He's got some crazy tats and stuff. And you can tell sometimes by the way somebody talks that they've been to prison. They've been locked up for a while. Like, you can tell, like, you know, they say homie at the end of their sentences. They kind of lurch forward at you and kind of intimidate you as they talk to you, because that's how it is in there, I think. I mean, I've never been in there. I don't really know. But this dude's definitely been in there. And this guy was telling me, listen, man, they're all going to talk. They're always going to talk, no matter what gym you go to. If you make any kind of gains, people are going to talk. And guess what? That talking just makes you tougher. Every single time they talk, you just get tougher. You watch them talk, you don't care. And every time you don't care, you've now gotten stronger. Because you don't care about that person, you don't care about that person. He had far more vulgar ways of expressing what he was expressing than how I'm expressing it right now. But that was basically what he was saying, is that the more times that you don't care, the easier it is to not care about the next person. And I was like, man, you just philosophied the guy that always philosophize everybody. Like, you got the philosopher, man. Like, everybody comes to me to hear, like, good advice about stuff, and, like, you just got me, man. Like, that was pretty good. I, like, really appreciate that. And I told him thank you. And I've been using it. The less you care, the less you care. It's that simple. It's like an opposite snowball. Usually when you roll a snowball down a snowy hill, the snowball gets bigger. But this snowball just gets smaller. You just quit caring. It's so weird. Like, and I've used it. I just quit caring. Once you quit with one guy, you're like, wait a second. I quit caring about him. I don't care about this guy either. You don't even know their names. These people that stare at you in the gym. It's so weird. Also, one more thing, guys. I had someone come up to me in the gym this week. It was, I think it was about 2 nights ago. I wrote about this on my Instagram. I was zinging on pre-workout, and I'm terrible at remembering names, so I apologize greatly. It was about, I think it was like 10 o'clock at night. This kid came up to me, super happy, super perky dude, just comes up to me in the locker room, and he like looks at me and he gives me this like back and forth, like looking at me like curiously. And then I take off my headphones and he's like, LP. And I was like, yeah, man, that's me, the mythical unicorn. And he like flips out about meeting me, man. He told me, he was like, I'm meeting a celebrity right now. He's like, can I Snapchat you? And I'm like, of course you can, man. Like, what? I was taken back by it. Now, mind you, I was zinging on pre-workout, so I was like kind of ready to get out to the floor. But I was walking into the gym with like this terrible, horrible, bad mindset. I didn't want to work out that night. I thought, this is stupid. I don't want to be here. This is dumb. I think me and baby girl were moving the day before, something like that. I don't quite remember. But I remember I couldn't get to the gym, and I was just miserable. I just didn't want to do it. And this kid coming up to me, saying hi, I told him afterwards, I was like, hey man, thank you. You just made my workout 10 times better. Because it did. Like, I went into my workout with a completely different frame of mind. Completely different. Knowing that there was someone, like, having someone come up and say hi, and then telling you that they watch all your videos and that they're a fan and that they love your stuff, it is so encouraging. Because all those times that you see people just staring or just kind of hating, talking, doing whatever they're doing, and it takes a toll after a while. It does. And you just have to learn not to care about it. But every time someone comes up and says hi and says how much you've helped or how much they love your stuff, it makes it so much easier to not care about those people that don't like you. It makes it so much easier. Knowing that you helped just one single person, just a little bit, like if you're depressed and I've helped you at all by talking, like in any of these LP variety hours, like today, I talked about my mom going away for a while, getting locked up and stuff like that. I hope that helps somebody. I really, really hope that helps somebody, because there's some people in some real crappy situations out there, and maybe that just made you just go, oh man, at least I still have my parents, or whatever it is. If I can help you, that is amazing, and that's what I'm here to do. Guys, this is running very, very long, and yet again, guys, I want you to write any ideas that you have of things that you want me to talk about. Write them in the comments below. Please, 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 please. And if this helped you, if you find this interesting, if this is helping you get through something just miserable and all of a sudden you forgot about it, leave a comment for me. Leave what that terrible activity is. And please, guys, share this with a friend. Hit the like button for me. Just anything. I've said this before. For us fitness YouTubers and us YouTubers, us vloggers, it's like putting money in our pocket, because you're sharing us, and it's very hard for us sometimes to share ourselves and broadcast ourselves. Sometimes people, I have a Facebook feed and I can share whatever YouTube video it is, but most people have seen my stuff before that are in my Facebook feed. Now, let's say that you type up, let's say that you share randomly an LP Variety Hour on your Facebook, whatever it is. Now your people are seeing it. It's hard for me to share that far. Do you see what I'm saying? Like like, I don't know what it is about Facebook, but Facebook, it is very hard for you to get your stuff out there and shared. Facebook is like a place where babies farting, cute dogs, and like big boobs and butts and stuff. Like those are the things that like and sentimental stuff nowadays. Like sentimental stuff really gets a lot of likes and stuff like that. Like, it's really good. For some reason, it's kind of hard to promote your YouTube channel on Facebook, and I don't quite understand. So if you guys want to share this anywhere, share it with a friend. If you just tell them in the car, or if you're just driving somewhere, you're like, hey, do you want to listen to this interesting guy talk for a little while? Please do. I would appreciate it so much. And I'm rambling right now because I'm getting really low on calories. I'm going to eat some chicken and rice, and then I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to kill back biceps and triceps. Yet again, guys, thank you for all the positive comments last week and the week before on all these LP Variety Hours. I appreciate it so much. It means so much to me. Seriously, guys. I'm going to keep on making these every single Monday for you. There is going to be a Forging Colossus this Wednesday. Forging Colossus number 30. I will be updating you guys on the cut and everything. I apologize that I haven't made one in a little while. I don't know why. I'll sit down to make it, and I'm like, I hate this video. I'm just not going to make it. And then I just completely forget about it and just let it kind of die and just float off in outer space. I don't know why. But I am actually recording today for Forging Colossus number 30. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you guys all so much again for all your positive comments and everything. Hit that like button for me. I love you guys. Thank you.